Welcome back to Joel Coliseum. Terry Sanford, Northern Guilford, two programs with championship history. Although Terry Sanford, they're 0-4 all-time in these state title runs. Their first trip back in just 2 years. They lost to West Rowan, and Jada Blake and many others were on that squad a year ago. You see Coach Chris Goodman, fourth year, 20-plus wins in all his seasons. Great job bringing some great basketball down to the Fayetteville area. His counterpart, Josh Evans, was the assistant under the championship teams of 10 years ago. And now we're ready to rock and roll in Joel Coliseum. Opening tip goes to the Bulldogs. An offense that's won 15 straight. Their lone loss of the year was to National Power Grace Christian. They're playing some great ball down the stretch.
They really are. And this is a time, obviously, when you want to be playing your best basketball here in March. And I know both these teams so happy to be on this stage right now.
First touch for Zanaya Reddick, the junior point guard. Opening drive from Jada Blake, who was one of the captains from the team 2 years ago that made a title run. Now in her junior year. There's the starting five for Northern Guilford. Aaliyah Settle's been great. That's on the floor, not an and one. But Lena McField, she's a next level player with 15 D1 offers.
Yeah, I mean, she really is. And you can just see what she was just doing, being able to create her own shot. And that's something too, the poise and the patience that really just separates you from a good to great player.
That was the Tatum and Atkinson starting lineup. An aggressive Northern Guilford unit, 11-0 in the TAC 6 conference. They were rolling here in January and February. The jumper for Georgia Lewis.
Yeah, and she is a shooter right there at deep two, but able to knock it down with a beautiful stroke.
There's the Tatum and Atkinson starting five. Jada Blake, big returner. Amia Harrington, 12-point a game, good rebounder. And here's a steal. Lena McField putting her footprint early in this one, but misses the layup. McField right back to it and is fouled. She's a difference maker here at the high school level.
She is, and you can just see her defense to offense, sticking with her shot, being able to get that O board and an opportunity for two.
Remember, Lena McField's a junior. She already has the program and the conference scoring record. She heads the Tatum and Atkinson free throw line.
A host of resume of accolades all season long, of tournament MVP, tournament, all-tournament team, countless just amazing experiences all season long from 25 to 26 season.
And a 4-point start for the Nighthawks. Play just across the road in Greensboro. Great crowd on tap. And a deep three is missed from Eleni Sky Wilkerson. Here's where Terry Sanford's dangerous. On the glass, and Wilkerson right there.
Wilkerson has the ability to shoot from deep and also score inside. And then what do you know? Look at this full court pressure.
They'll force 20 turnovers a game, put a lot of pressure on the opponent. Good look out of the press. Rebound is no good for Aaliyah Settle.
Settle there is a great O-board option for her.
Blake to the free throw line. A tough miss, and this Nighthawk crowd will let her hear it.
That's a great look for Blake. Blake is so good at being able to stop and pop from 15, but that one just a little too short.
How do the Nighthawks handle this tremendous pressure today?
Yeah, I mean, I think for them, you have to be able to settle in, know that the defensive pressure is going to come in waves. So, honestly, just pump fake, ball fakes.
How about three-pointers in transition? That's short. And another look off the bench. No good for Georgia Lewis, who scores 8 a night for the Nighthawks. Harrington, tough look. Two programs that hold their opponents in the 50s. This could be a defensive fistfight today. McField, all downhill. That's no good. That's going to be a tough assignment to slow down Lena McField today.
Well, you can see already what she's been able to do with creating her own shots in transition, which is honestly one of their best. Both of these teams love to play fast and love to get out in transition.
Neela Marcelin has just come in, the senior guard. Only two seniors on this Terry Sanford team for Coach Goodman. Beat their inner city rivals 71st last week in the region final. Coaching staff's joking, drove all the way to Hickory to play a game that's right down the road, but it worked for Terry Sanford. There's a missed three. And here comes McField, one of the top junior prospects in the state. No look dime, but an extra step and a travel from Anaya Purley.
And that's a tough one too as a player. Evan, you don't know sometimes when to take that dribble or not, but 1, 2, 3, just one too many.
In the college game, that's a layup. In the high school game, we hold them to the rules here. Chris Kolowski, our lead referee today. Good paint position. And Terry Sanford find Amia Harrington. That's knocked out of bounds.
Great defensive effort from Northern Guilford, really containing them and honestly forcing them to take outside shots.
And you see Jada Blake running straight into the locker room there. We'll check on Jada in a moment. She comes out, and then a turnover on a bad inbounds pass.
I think Terry Sanford right now just honestly need to settle in offensively, not getting their looks and take care of the basketball.
McField kicks it outside. Terry Sanford's so good in the second half against 71st. Their defense was tenacious. McField, the spin move into two bodies. That's no good. But on the floor, that's the 13th foul against the Bulldogs.
Lena McField doing such a great job of attacking the rim. But then look at this, staying with that second chance effort. Sometimes too, Evan, you just gotta see the ball go through the hoop, and been leaving a little bit short, but she's staying with it.
Here's a three that's no good. Good news, Jada Blake has just come back out. Little hair change during the break.
Listen,
She's
it's important.
Hey, you're on big TV stage, you gotta look good. Here's a deep three for Brown, and an offensive board. Zanaya Reddick gets there. And then a bad pass. Anaya Purley pushing it. Purley has her pocket picked. Good hands from Marcelin. But a foul on the other side.
Northern Guilford has done such a good job of trying to get out from their stops, getting out in transition, and then that time a defensive stop, trying to get a steal, but a foul from Terry Sanford.
These are two teams you got to hold your wallet close. They will pick your pocket a ton. Physical defensive programs. McField works inside.
McField that time trying to use her body and posting up, but just a little too strong.
Here's a deep transition three. That's a hard look at the high school level, and a foul on the boards. That goes against Northern Guilford. And it's Georgia Lewis's first.
Too, Evan, there's so many nerves. There's so much adrenaline, and I feel like Terry Sanford's not doing a great job of really reversing the basketball, getting their best shot option that time, just a little too quick on the trigger.
Good pressure underneath. A leaning Harrington comes up short. Amia, 100 rebounder this year. Good offensive player. Look at this scrum for the loose ball. Kayla Graham comes out with it. Reddick, the hair change. It certainly helps the drive, and we'll take the quick timeout. 4-2 in this defensive battle of the 6A state championship. Here's our original Grills fan cam. Elevate your grill game. And look at the Cherokee Nation already rolling up for the next contest. This place is about to be packed. Nighthawk Nation looks pretty good too.
They're ready, they're standing up, energy is high. They got a close one here in the first quarter.
2-point lead for Northern Guilford, who dominated a decade ago with Elisa Kunane, the All-American at NC State. She was a great standout for the former coaching staff. And here's the disciple, Josh Evans, bringing the program back. Coach Furlow was a decade long, a couple of state titles in her career. It's good to see Northern Guilford back in this position 8 years later.
And it's so fun too. Obviously, he was a part of that staff as an assistant, and she really kind of said, hey, you're going to be back here. Your day is coming, and here he is now, 2026, so an opportunity to bring one home.
So a tie game midway through this first quarter. There's Coach Josh Evans, whose club's been on a massive tear. Wins in 16 straight. A layup in transition for Leah Settle.
Leah Settle, so good in transition, and that time able to find the backboard, hopefully get some confidence going for her club.
And the way Terry Sanford plays defense, that might be the only way to score today.
You're exactly right, is getting honestly ahead of the defense and able to score the first 5 to 7 seconds.
Mia Brown swings it. Here's Harrington. No, pretty good look. Offensive board, nice effort, Wilkerson.
Wilkerson, so good. That's something that she can honestly separate herself big in this game, is converting those boards into buckets.
She has 100 offensive rebounds, which is high school hoops ain't easy. And then gets a strip on this end. The aggressive junior, pushing tempo here. Harrington, not much real estate. Wilkerson begging for the rock in the corner. Nice pass, but a missed layup.
Oh, that was pretty sweet offense right there. This is a team that has so much depth and so many different players who can score.
Terry Sanford will run line changes. They go 10 deep. They played all 10 in their win over 71st over in ECU last week in the region. A lot of ball pressure here. This is where the Bulldogs are dangerous. Marshall in the steal and the layup.
Defense to offense. It's a recipe for success, getting stops and being able to score quick, easy buckets.
Another difficult pass, and this Bulldog crowd getting emphatic late in the first quarter. We got students pointing to the referees. We got players with some defense here.
Look at this defense, able to get a tip and a steal, and then out in front for a nice, easy bucket for two.
A foul on the drive, so Aaliyah Settle earns what is now the 5th team foul, so nearing the bonus. And it is the 5th team foul, so here's the bonus for Northern Guilford. As here comes Ava Fushi coming in, freshman forward. Different colored shoes, how about that?
Listen, personality, you love to see it. Oh, the zoom in. Look at those pretty laces.
Now, who has to purposely pack one of each, right? Because I would forget. I would just pack two of the same.
Yeah, and then a left and a right. Woo.
Hey, but it works. Scary. It works for the Northern Guilford freshman. Tatum and Atkinson free throws. Injured in a car wreck, called the heavy hitters. And Tatum and Atkinson. Also, Zanaya Reddick subs back in. She's a three-point markswoman. 42 threes this year. Settle ties this game at 8.
You see Northern Guilford in their zone defense here, 2-3. You see them communicating as cutters are coming through.
Two of the better defensive clubs in the state, and a steal for Fushi. This would field Northern Guilford in the playoff run. Both teams in the 40s and the 50s all day long. McField, what a dish! Not just a great baller, but a wide open miss there.
A great pass, honestly, able to break her defender down one-on-one.
Closing 90 seconds of this first quarter. It's been tight all game. Blake in her bag. Good little step through. Janiyah Blake, no. Gets the board. Blake right back to it. And free throws here for Terry Sanford.
And this is where Janiyah Blake, she shines. She has the most free throw attempts on her team, so this is her strength, being able to create her shot. But then how about this? Second chance effort, going back to the cup, an opportunity for two.
Okay, back to your days as a shooter at Liberty. Did you know where the ball was going to miss?
So there is some science, right? Like there's some physics. Let me say probably there's some physics. I mean, our coach used to say corner shot, corner rebound. Sometimes like a 15, like an angled shot will come off the opposite angle. But yeah, there is a knack for rebounding that you've got to be able to kind of predict where the ball is going to come off the rim. But
that's the perks of having a 40% three-point shooter with this. Brittany Hoyt, Evan Budrovich. Some heavy ball pressure from Terry Sanford and another turnover forced.
Yeah, and we also lived most practices with the ring on top to practice rebounding, and it's a huge part of it too, just having that heart, that will, and being able to get that rebound.
Last women's game we had in this building was a thriller. Mallard Creek beat Hoggard in overtime to win the 8A title. Here in the 6A level, close again. And that three a bit off. Nice board from Fushi, the freshman. McField gets a good pick and then is stripped. Stays patient, and McField powers through.
McField had 3 defenders on her. She found a way. She has so much heart right now, trying and finding a way to get points for her team.
No player in Northern Guilford history more points than Lena McField. She knows how to get it done and can steal the ball too. Final 20. Blake, a sick move. Blake to the bucket. Look at these guards getting after it.
Janiyah Blake being so savvy and creative, getting all the way to the rim.
Back and forth late. Settle to the free throw line. A little more aggression to close out the first.
Northern Guilford doing such a good job of getting out, being able to score honestly before the defense gets settled.
Tatum and Atkinson free throws called the heavy hitters as Aaliyah Settle looks to cut into this one-point game. And now both teams go to their bench. You see Elias Womack come back in, the freshman. A lot of youngsters here for Josh Evans in Guilford. Northern Guilford team that shoots their free throw well, 68%. And misses one that time. Blake with some time. College three is foul. Oh, Settle with a costly one with 1 second left.
That's one of those two, knowing time and score. Aaliyah Settle, just a freshman. Don't ever want to foul a jump shooter. 1 second left to go in the quarter.
The beneficiary is Jada Blake, who went off in the region final game for Terry Sanford. She was one of 4 players in double figures in their in-city win. A 30-point lead in that region final.
And for her too, she's getting it done with points, creating opportunities, 4 assists in that game, a couple steals. And then in the game before that, she had 6 steals and 9 rebounds versus Vans. So, and she is affecting and impacting this game so much.
A couple of guards sub in. Sierra Faircloth, the freshman, and Vivian Artis-Killian, the sophomore wing. So all 5 guards on the court with 1 second left. A miss keeps it a 2-point game, but that dribbles out the clock. Entertaining first 8 minutes here in Winston-Salem. Terry Sanford, tough defensively, getting some transition buckets. And we'll step aside in this 6A title. 2-point lead for Terry Sanford. Welcome back to Winston-Salem for the North Carolina High School Athletic Association Championships. The arthritis knee pain stats from that first quarter. Defensive struggle early, but a good free throw outing from both squads.
Yeah, and you can see too, obviously, everyone's trying to settle in, right? There's first quarter jitters. Everyone's just kind of in the moment, excited. I'm expecting a much different quarter here, but you see Northern Guilford missed a lot of shots, but there was the rebounding opportunities that they were doing, and they were getting in the paint. And then Terry Sanford did a much better job there late in that first quarter, finally settling in and being able to hit some jumpers in the paint.
The ready to roll garage door points in the paint. Ready to roll, call the garage door experts in Raleigh. That's the lead for Terry Sanford, winning the battle in the paint. And with all the pollen this time of year, keep that garage closed. It's warm out, but it's tricky. You get a lot of pollen and it ruins your car. Here's the Cadillac that keeps this Northern Guilford squad going. Lena McField. She kicks it to a 3-point shooter. And Northern Guilford entered this game 40%. They make a lot of threes, but struggling early. Nice kick out from Wilkerson. Here's the 3. Right, way off. The air ball chance come rising from Nighthawk Nation. And a rebound for McField.
You know, it's always hard too when you're playing in a big arena like this. It's so difficult to get your bearings.
Unless you're McField, who just switches hands, gets her on board. And a nice scrum picked up by Amia Brown. Smallest player on the court. Brown to the bucket. 3 freshmen on the court right now for Northern Guilford, but you couldn't tell, an experienced unit. That's no good. These programs have each won 15, 16 in a row. They've had a little bit of bumps in the road in the tournament, but oddly, they've had clean pass to the state finals. Yeah,
I mean, I think both of these teams have honestly grown a lot this season, but it's been pretty dominant for them. 20-plus games for each of these programs, and again, this is a big-time, tough opponent that has a lot of similarities with defense to offense. It's going to be interesting to see who can execute their game plan better.
Here's Blake with a long 2, and she gets on the board.
Blake able to see that ball go through the hoop. Big time for her confidence, finally able to hit a 15-foot jumper.
Jada Blake was a star on 2 years ago state finalist team, lost to West Rowan. And now a loose ball in the corner. Remember, no shot clock in the high school game. That won't stop McField with a long 3.
Almost to the coach's hash.
Yeah, Chef McField range here at the Joel. A little 4-on-5 action for Blake, and she drills a 3.
I think Jediah Blake has found her bearings.
The paramount key, a three-pointer and a timeout. How about this run? Little 5 straight for Terry Sanford.
Yeah, honestly, just finally settling in, getting some momentum. Them two getting stops to scores. They've been able to box out and then come down on the other end and just honestly just find a way. And then Blake finally able to see her jump shot go through the hoop.
Stay tuned for Air Experts Heating and Cooling halftime. We'll have a special interview with the Commissioner, Q Tucker. First half highlights and more. Air Experts. Schedule your tune-up today at airexperts.com. Schedule a Janiah Blake special, too. She's been on fire. 9 quick points. Terry Sanford looks ready for this moment.
Yeah, they really do. And I think for them, too, like, as I noted, they have a lot of depth and a very balanced attack with their offense. And it kind of helps, right? Like, it's not all one trying to create some of those offensive opportunities. But Blake getting it done here late.
Terry Sanford 0-4 all-time in these state finals. We noted 2 years ago they were so close. That ball goes out of bounds. Good effort from Amia Brown. Now, Brittany, that's where you jump in front of me and save us, right?
Absolutely. I got my Nikes on. I'm ready.
At least the monitor. Yeah, the rest of us will be fine.
Save the technology.
Brittany Hoyt, Evan Budrovich, midway through the second quarter of the 6A title. A drive and a foul sends Anaya Purley to the line, the junior guard.
Anaya Purley right here, driving baseline. She is a lefty. Look at this. She's going to her strength, drawing that foul. And that's something that Northern Guilford's going to have to do is if they can't make the jumpers, they're going to have to find a way to get to the free throw line and stop the clock.
And since Northern Guilford's last loss, 12-27, which is an awful Christmas gift, by the way, Anaya Purley's been playing out of her mind, doubling her scoring in January and February. Settling into this role as a junior starter. It makes both from the see-through Outer Banks free throw line.
I mean, she's won too, also a 31% three-point shooter, a great rebounder. So she's brought some balance to that offense and honestly alleviate some of that pressure with McField and settled inside.
The sophomore Sarah Moore gets her first minutes of this 6A title. So 5 guards on the court for Northern Guilford. Her job is to guard Blake. That's not easy off the bench. This Northern Guilford staff, they settle on defense, holding teams in the 40s here in the tournament. Back down low, Harrington, 2 more. And then a technical foul on Harrington for taunting. They'll officiate that tight here in the state title runs, but a tee against Terry Sanford. And you see what Coach Goodman's like, hey guys, we can't do that.
That's right, you see Harrington here, it's such a mismatch inside. And then just a little bit of emotion there after the bucket. Yeah, just a little too far.
Largest lead for Sanford, could be cut into here for McField. And sometimes the ball don't lie. Understand the intent of the rule. Certainly we don't want players yelling at other teams. It's more about yourself and your own team's success.
I know, it's so hard too. It's like you want to have emotion. You want to tell players, be in the moment, be excited. But it's almost like if you look too hard at the opponent, it may go the other way.
All part of the see-through construction free throw line, your contractor of choice in the Outer Banks. And there's Coach Goodman having a conversation with his star, Amia Harrington. So Lena McField, just 1 of 8 in this game, keeps going to work, and there's another bucket.
Finally, McField able to see it. Again, creating her shot, doing everything she can, breaking the defense down 101.
Nearly a 2,000-point score for the junior standout. Blake's turn. Nifty move, but that's no good. And then Blake almost saves it, but it goes out of bounds. I love watching these 2 stars just go to work. Jada Blake and Lena McField back and forth.
So impressive, honestly, both playmakers.
And then some tight defense here from Amia Brown, and she gets called for a foul.
And this is this Terry Sanford defense that's going to pick you up full court. And it slows you down, Evan. It gets in your head. It honestly puts you on your heels a little bit offensively, which is why Northern Guilford has struggled offensively.
McField with a nice pick. She's a bucket getter. How about this 3? From NBA range, no good. A couple of deep ones from Lena today. Now Marcelin pushes, she lost it. Here comes Purley. Purley's trapped. Ooh, and almost an over and back. McField kicks it. Buckle up, this is getting feisty. And then a late foul against Terry Sanford. That foul puts Northern Guilford in the bonus the rest of the quarter.
Well, you can see how many people are on Lena McField right here. 1, 2, how about a third? 3 players on her drawing the foul.
That three almost bounced in. Kind of a crazy look from the corner, and now out of bounds. A Terry Sanford turnover. It's all about composure in these state title games.
It really is, and understanding too, being in the moment and kind of having a little bit of self-control, because emotions are going to be high. There's so much on the line. There's so much that has been behind them that they've earned to get to this point, but got to be in control.
Did you see the official there? The 5-second clock started when he put the ball down.
I'm putting the ball down. We got to get this thing moving. We got another game.
We got halftime coming up. The Air Experts Heating and Cooling halftime. In the next 4 minutes, McField downhill earns a whistle. And now the bonus for Northern Guilford. Jada Blake picks up her first, pardon me.
Yeah, Lena McField just being so calm and collective right now, creating some of those shot opportunities and getting to the rim for 2.
The Akeem Anispopoulo law firm play of the game. Injured, don't scream. Call Akeem. Dial 800's all 7. I had to get in that win there. It's important. We got our play of the game tees coming up. Lena McField might be one of those players putting good plays together. Here's a timeout for Terry Sanford.
This will be a full timeout for Terry Sanford.
While we have a moment, don't forget our Riddle and Riddle Injury Lawyers Player of the Game. Riddle and Riddle, when justice counts. And our friend Akeem Anispopoulo, we want to make sure to get him right for our play of the game tees. Tight game here in this 6A state title. 2 programs that have been here a bunch. Terry Sanford's never won a state title, but they just made it 2 years ago. And Northern Guilford with those great Alicia Canane teams, Coach Kim Furlow, 2017, 2018, and of course 2016. But now a new generation here for the Nighthawks today, down 2.
Yeah, Northern Guilford is doing everything they can. Honestly, a little bit of a ring on the rim. They've just kind of struggled to find the shots and had to get to the free throw line. They're doing what they can. But again, only a 2-point game right now. Terry Sanford, their defense has been electric. Big thing for them is being calm, composed, keeping it together.
Slow shooting starts for both teams that are defensive-minded. But the recent scoring here of Anaya Settle has helped get Northern Guilford back in the game.
Yeah, and she's one too. I love Settle. She's a big energy player. I love, honestly, what she can kind of create out in transition. Hopefully see her get going here in the second.
Marcelin to the bucket. Nice look.
Marcelin so good right there against that zone defense, being able to find a gap in the paint.
Time for McField to cook. Kicks it to Settle. That 3 short. And a big rebound, but a quick double on Marcelin. Throws a prayer. Blake comes out with it. Numbers for Sanford. Blake, 1v1, blows by McField.
Blake, so good. A 3-on-2 opportunity. You always wait for that defender to pick you up. And that time she just took it all the way to the cup.
Now Blake takes on the assignment of McField. Forcing the hand out of Lena instead of drive and a whistle. So here's free throws for Anaya Purley when we return to Winston-Salem. The 6A state title game's tight early. 6-point battle as Blake and McField go back-to-back with some nice buckets. We'll return to the Joel right after this. Welcome back to Joel Coliseum, the 6A title. Terry Sanford been knocking on the door the last handful of years, including in 2024. What, up 6 late in this third quarter. Northern Guilford, the short trip from Greensboro over. And their star, Lena McField, 2 of 10 shooting. Look at all the Cherokee Nation rolling down. The 2A women's titles next.
Oh, they're going to come in deep.
Yeah, they're in pursuit of a 3rd straight. And this place will be full in about 30 minutes.
No doubt. I think they probably shut the whole town down. It's going to be a packed arena.
Time for the see-through construction free throws, your contractor of choice in the Outer Banks. Coach Josh Evans leaning on his freshmen today. And more free throws for Anaya Purley, who cuts this lead to 5. Northern Guilford in the middle of a proud basketball city of Greensboro. The home of the ACC, and a nice bucket there for Lena McField.
Always love a good rebounding guard, and right there McField just getting the right position for a nice O-board to cut it to 3.
Harrington, tough look, and then Settle with a foul on the rebound, reaching over Zanaya Reddick.
That's an unfortunate one for Settle. She's one too. You don't want her in foul trouble. She and McField combined for 40 points in their last outing, but that time she just kind of reached over a little bit.
Hearing from this crowd, she's just short. But sometimes that's how it goes. Tightly contested game. And that goes out of bounds. It'll stay here, so a third chance for Terry Sanford. I love high school crowds because parents tell it like it is. They
No
don't
filter.
sugarcoat it. No, not at all.
No filter.
With Brittany Hoyt, Evan Budrovich nearing halftime of his 6A Women's Championship. Good ball movement. Here's Reddick. And a third chance gets tipped out of bounds. Now it's the Nighthawks ball.
Settle that time did a much better job boxing out, not reaching. Keep herself out of foul trouble.
Lena McField with half the shots for Northern Guilford today. They'll need some balance as this first half closes. McField way deep and off. Rebound, Wilkerson. Nice outlet. Blake runs the court, but then lost it on the way up. Although McField touched it last, it'll stay here.
McField doing a great job getting back defensively. What, almost an easy 2 for Blake. She gets a...
You fall asleep on Janiah Blake. She's going to score a layup line.
No doubt.
Here's an NBA 3 that rattles out. I know these kids get excited, right? That college line is there, but sometimes that extra 4 or 5 feet matters.
Well, it does, and especially in a gym, as I noted before, where you kind of don't have your bearings. This is the biggest gym they've played in all season long. Obviously, they were at East Carolina last weekend, too, but it is very tough.
Blake along 2. Couple of tough looks, and a freshman, Vivian Artis-Killian, on the board. Or pardon me, sophomore now. Here comes Fushi with the screen. Some big minutes for the freshman. McField pressured and fouled. And now some free throws the rest of the quarter for Northern Guilford. At the see-through construction free throw line.
McField at any point in time is going to have 3 players collapse on her defensively. She's keeping her dribble. She's doing what she can. It's just so difficult right now defensively to honestly move the ball around the perimeter and kind of find someone who's open.
The Air Experts Heating and Cooling halftime reports next. Interview with Q Tucker, the commissioner. First half highlights and more. Schedule to tune up at airexperts.com. And in comes Sarah Moore. An underclass bench has brought Northern Guilford back in this game, with McField in a little bit of a shooting woe here early.
Yeah, and it's going to be needed. If they're going to win this one this afternoon, it's going to have to be some balanced offense.
Harrington's pass is tipped. Georgia Lewis. This defense can collapse in a hurry for Terry Sanford. And McField off on the jumper. Nice board by Blake. Blake 1v3. And out of bounds, it'll stay here. You can feel an anxiousness in the building right now from both programs with a minute left.
Well, I think, too, I mean, both teams honestly struggling to score in the half court if it's not a wide open layup. So the jumpers are just, honestly, they're hard to come by.
2 programs that each scored 60+ in their region final. A little tougher with a state title on the line. Here's a touch inside. Nice finish by Wilkerson.
And that's a great look right there. Wilkerson inside is a huge mismatch advantage for them. They got to keep feeding her the ball.
McField follows that screen of Fushi. And a jump ball, really good defense. Terry Sanford basketball. And even Coach Goodman's like, man, we might have gotten away with one there.
Terry Sanford here, look, not one, not two, three defenders coming over, but Wilkerson with the big-time block and jump ball.
That's the intensity of Terry Sanford, just suffocated 71st in the region final over at ECU.
And that's what their defense does, it just disrupts.
Kick out, Reddick's three rattles out. And a foul on the boards. That's the effort of Harrington, earning the foul on Northern Guilford.
Terry Sanford doing a great job right now rebounding, because you can't make deep shots. You've got to find a second and a third chance opportunity, and they're doing it right now.
Reddick goes baseline. Oh, nice feed. Harrington spins. That's how you finish it inside for Wilkerson.
Wilkerson, again, a huge impact player, almost a double-double queen on any given night. That time for the easy catch and finish.
Here's Lewis, clock ticking. That three's off. Wilkerson with time. 1 second, and time runs out. Close first half, but it's Terry Sanford maintaining a 5-point lead at the break.
Terry Sanford has done a great job all half long getting stops to scores. That time it's McField out in transition, and Blake on the other end has just been tremendous for Terry Sanford.
For the second half, the Bulldogs are happy campers. Up 5, Terry Sanford. 5th trip to a final. They've been knocking on the door now, but never won one as a program. In good position through 16 minutes. Northern Guilford riding their superstar Lena McField, but it's been a slow shooting first half for the Nighthawks. Now we get set to rock and roll here in this third quarter. Coach Chris Goodman anchoring this program on feisty defense. And 19 points in the paint in this 6A state title matchup. Second half rolling here at Jewel Coliseum. Lena McField in attack mode. Dishes inside. That's no good.
You see again the defense just collapse on Lena McField, making it so difficult.
Nice hands from McField, and she gets fouled. Oh, Blake got hit hard on the way down. She might have got poked in the eye there.
Terry Sanford foul charge to number 3.
You see here Lena McField kind of pick her pocket a little bit, and
Injury timeout on the floor.
Yeah, Blake got hit hard on her way down there. Okay, there's Jada getting up slowly. She will have to exit the game for a moment. They check on her for concussion protocol.
Blake was tremendous in that first half. 14 points, 5 for 7 from the free throw line. Took a big time hit right there to get looked at by the trainer.
That'll force some big minutes for Neela Marshall to come in. Lewis back to McField. No shot clock in the high school game, so McField has some time. Settle in the corner and earns a whistle. First free throws of the second half.
Terry Sanford's defense is just honestly stifling, just difficult to really get some offense going, but Settle there, able to get a foul opportunity and a chance for 2.
This was the winning formula for Northern Guilford in their comeback over Alexander Central. Had a 10-point deficit in the third quarter. Got to the free throw line a bunch and won that region final.
Yeah, I mentioned before, Settle and McField both combined for 40 points in that one. Able, honestly, to overcome a deficit is always a big-time feat.
Just one free throw there. So Terry Sanford waiting for Blake to come back in, maintaining this 5-point lead. How about this three from the logo at Wake Forest?
Amia Brown from deep. Confidence all over that one.
The Paramount Kia three from way long range. It will stay on this end.
You know, she was shooting them in the first half, and that's what great shooters do. They keep letting them fly. And this one, is that NBA range?
At least. Man, that came out of nowhere. Only the second triple of the game for Terry Sanford. And a miss that time for Georgia Lewis. Good hands by Settle and a steal. McField has been triple teamed all day. Purley knocks in a three.
And that's what's going to take for Northern Guilford to get going. Someone else find a bucket, and that time it was Purley for two.
Pass into no man's land. Aaliyah Settle 2-on-1. And there's Northern Guilford down just three.
Leah Settle so good in transition. Love her length, her athleticism, and that time, defense to offense.
A little bit of ball pressure and Blake on the bench, and here comes Northern Guilford. Wilkerson heaves a three. And a nice board, and George lost it. How about this battle? No whistles. Getting physical here in the third. McField, no look. Right there on the finish.
That's what makes McField so good, is a 2-on-1 opportunity. Don't look now, Northern Guilford within one.
7-point run and an inadvertent whistle. No timeout.
Look at this, a no foul right here, a battle inside, and then more with the kick out. McField in transition, 2-on-1. She drew the defense, which is just fundamental basketball. A beautiful pass and finish inside.
Jada Blake could not return faster. If you're Terry Sanford, 8-point lead has dwindled.
Maybe that was the inadvertent whistle, was just get her back into the basketball game.
What a spurt in the last 2 minutes of this third quarter.
This Northern Guilford team, never count them out.
Nice dish down low. Blake gets it started. Rebound is in. There's a finish for Harrington.
Harrington, she lived by that in the first half, getting her offensive rebounds. That time, a great putback.
Nice kick out. George three. Almost in. And who touched it? Oh, that stays in bounds. Another swing. Settle three. Nope. Nice board for Reddick. Okay, everyone's shooting threes here in the Joel, and that's short. Take a deep breath, everybody. Hang in there, we got.
You shoot a three, you shoot a three.
A lot of basketball left in a three-point game.
It's okay, we can go for twos.
Coach Evans, Coach Goodman looking for fundamental poise late. McField, 1v4, earns a whistle. Free throws for the junior standout.
You know, Josh Evans said to this club, this Northern Guilford club, you've got to be us, be calm. And Lena McField, it hasn't been her outing offensively at all, but I tell you what, she's been crafty and creative to find a way to get to the line.
At the Tatum and Atkinson free throw line, injured in a car wreck, called the heavy hitters. Josh Evans, the protege of Kim Furlow, who won 2 titles and made it to 3 straight. And now it's his turn here for an impressive Northern Guilford team. 26 wins. Their last loss was back in December. And the free throw cuts it at 2.
11-0 in conference. Honestly, just elite what they have been able to do, and honestly running the table.
Baseline. There's a good drive, but a miss, point blank for Wilkerson. Harrington there, no. Wilkerson can't hit that. Blake on the rebound. This Terry Sanford team is tough on the glass. And now a defensive board.
Terry Sanford absolutely dominant on the board.
Tough pass for Settle. And there's a lot of Northern Guilford fans right behind us. They're getting restless here with the turnovers.
Well, it's one of those two where it was a great transition opportunity. As you see a dad just sit down in disappointment. We could have had that layup.
This game was getting frantic there for the last 2 minutes. Everybody was heaving threes, throwing transition looks.
Settle down.
That's the pressure of a title game like this. How about Wilkerson? That's no good. The offense has gone quiet here.
That's a great look for Wilkerson. She's a 31% three-point shooter.
Purley, pretty spin move, tie game.
Purley with that left hand finds her pull-up jumper. We got us a tie ball game.
Wilkerson's fighting for paint touches. Sanford can't find them. Blake to the floor. Jump ball. Possession stays here and an immediate timeout. Well, Northern Guilford was down 8 early in this quarter, but the shots starting to fall. All tied at 33 as we step aside in the 6A title late in the third quarter.
Finishing with her left. There's a reason why she's a leader on this team of rebounds and points.
Elaney Sky Wilkerson, who transferred from 71st last year, beat her former team in a region final. She's been a spark plug.
You know that had to be tough. It had to be a tough one, and had a big-time game, 15 points, 3 rebounds. What a great year she has had.
And as Northern Guilford's crawled back, Wilkerson's had the answer. Sky inside. There's another bucket for Settle.
Settle is such an energy player. That time, breaking the defense down.
Transition 3. Oh boy. Out of bounds. There's a lot of contact there. You see the effort of Zanaya Reddick.
Look at this hustle from both ends, just going after a board, some healthy competition. Bodies flying all over the place.
A reset for Blake. Good drive, 1v4, but can't hit it.
That was a great drive from Blake, breaking the defense down.
There's a drive, McField, and Northern Guilford has the lead.
It's where McField, if she can just settle in, find a way to get an easy lay-in that time, doing the hard work of breaking that defense down.
First lead since the first quarter for the night. Hawks until there. Nice bucket.
Amia Brown getting involved, that time getting all the way to the rim.
And then Brown with the jump steal. The little 5'3" guard is flying around the court. And her final game of high school hoops.
Yeah, put this one on her highlight reel. Look at this, breaking the defense down, a little bit of shimmy shake, 1 versus 3. And then on the other end, look at this one, going after the ball, bodies flying, into an assistant coach. Put me in, coach.
Into the scores table, into everything.
Listen, that's gonna be on her highlight tape.
I'm not sure where Mia's going to play next, but she's earning her minutes here in this state title. 15 straight wins for Terry Sanford. They have been rolling here in March. Coming up later in today's game, we'll be selecting the Riddle & Riddle Injury Lawyers Player of the Game. Riddle & Riddle, when justice counts. Blake and McField have had their superstar shows, but Settle stepped up here for Northern Guilford and gotten them back in this game.
Yeah, and Leah Settle, she's just a freshman, so what she's been able to do to create some of those shot opportunities, and she's one too, she gets her team going. Big energy player, she's put her team on the back many a times, and she can put together a complete game defensively and offensively, so don't count her out. She brings so much to this club.
Closing minute and a half of this third quarter in the 6A state title. Northern Guilford turning the clock back to 2018, their last run, but a travel turns it over. And that reaction is pretty special.
Not sure about that one. You can see her now, get it back on defense, get it back on defense. That's what great players do. They just move on to the next play.
Deep 3. Man, this player's huge. Senior steps up, Amia Brown.
Amia Brown playing with so much confidence, got ice in her veins.
The Paramount Kia three-pointer. Baseline drive, Lewis. There's an answer off the bench.
Georgia Lewis doing the little things for this Northern Guilford club, wheeling her way for a bucket.
Watch out for Brown, little heat check moment. Crossover, heat check three. Almost a foul, rebound, Wilkerson. Here's a good dish to Reddick. And a foul on the pass. Ooh, and then some collision there. Harrington gets hit hard. Neither team in the bonus.
We knew this was going to be physical. Two clubs who honestly pride themselves in their defensive effort. And that time, Harrington oversettle.
Catch and shoot. Brown heaves one up. Outlet. McField runs transition. Tied at 41.
It's a great pitch ahead pass. And McField for two.
You see Harrington jumping like, give me the ball.
I'm
open.
wide open.
Mia Brown looks to go inside. It's tipped. And now Terry Sanford make a quick sub. Neela Marcelin, who was good in that first half with 4 points, comes in. And Harrington kind of left awkwardly there. Maybe a slight injury. She'll get checked on.
She's a mismatch inside as well.
Wilkerson, no good. Time for McField. Off a pick. Penetrates. McField got it for the lead. Layden McField heating up at the right time. And a big lead for Northern Guilford.
A huge third quarter for Northern Guilford, getting it done, defense and offense, but Lena McField playing at 1 versus 3, getting all the way to the cup to give her team the lead going into the fourth.
Start of the fourth quarter, Arthritis Knee Pain Center stats from the third. Arthritis Knee Pain Center free throws for Northern Guilford's gotten it back in the game. And then in terms of points in the paint, the garage doors points in the paint. Terry Sanford doing well in that department. And here we go, 2-point game to start the fourth. Settle fires a jumper. The ready to roll garage door points in the paint. Good offensive board, gets it reset. Leah Settle now in attack mode. And a travel before that shot. This game's gotten tight.
Yeah, it has. I think Northern Guilford did such a great job in that third quarter, coming back from being behind and honestly finally getting some energy. I just felt like Terry Sanford had a lot of those energy plays and points, and great job coming back in this matchup.
Blake with a jumper. She got injured midway through the third quarter, has been held scoreless since. And now a foul. Lena McField starting to take over this game in the second half.
Well, she's done a great job of finding her buckets, but also it's been that balanced attack as well. Pearlie, Lewis, and Settle each have been able to contribute offensively because she can. She's scoring 1 versus 4 most possessions.
Reset for Lewis. McField's immediately doubled. Remember, no shot clock in the high school game. Lewis 3, short, but a rebound, and earns a whistle. So free throws from the crafty senior.
Georgia Lewis there, she's a 30% three-point shooter, getting her own offensive rebound. Just some of those hustle plays is something that she's been doing all afternoon long.
At the see-through construction free throw line, your contractor of choice in the Outer Banks. A fourth big foul here for Brown. And another lead, pushed up to 4.
And that could be a difference maker too. The clock stopping, getting to the free throw line.
Good paint position for Wilkerson. Terry Sanford settling for a lot of threes in this third quarter. There's a long two that gets blocked. And now Settle pushing it. The true freshman. Settle step through, earns a whistle. And more free throws for Northern Guilford.
Leah Settle, just a freshman, averages 16 points per game. Look how crafty she is with her feet. Euro step there. She's almost acrobatic finding her way to the free throw line.
Back to the see-through construction line. 23 free throw attempts for Northern Guilford. That's been their offense today.
Well, it's been big because their jumpers have been difficult to come by. And they've had to find a way to get some points on the board, and they've willed their way, even if it takes it through the free throw line.
Terry Sanford had an 8-point lead in the third quarter. That is flipped here in the fourth. Now Northern Guilford with its largest lead. Nia Reddick. McField takes the assignment. Tough pass. And the jump ball keeps possession here.
Sarah Moore there with a defensive effort. Great team defense.
First minutes for Charisma Carswell, the sophomore guard. Where's the scoring going to come from here late for Terry Sanford? Brown inside. Wilkerson triple and keeps powering through, but a travel before the shot.
Wilkerson that time double teamed. That's a great look inside. There is a mismatch there, but that time it was all the defense of Northern Guilford.
McField searching contact. Nice defensive stop. Here comes Jada Blake ahead. Brown's three. Short. Rebound back in. Wilkerson that time.
Wilkerson right there to collect that trash. Great opportunity for them to cut this lead. Back down.
It's trash day on Thursday here in Forsyth County. We're getting after it on the boards here at the Joel Coliseum. Nia Purley working the rock against a feisty Terry Sanford defense. McField three. Short. Outlet ball. Blake runs the break, and McField picks her. Numbers for Northern Guilford. Settle. Traveled. Oh, that's costly from the freshman.
McField is so good with the basketball and leading her teammates, and that time just a little bit of happy feet from the freshman Settle with the turnover.
Closing 5 minutes of this tight 6A title. Blake, a three. And a big battle for the boards. Nice whole board for Harrington. Wilkerson, back to Blake. No good on the jumper. And then Settle, ooh, she gets hit hard. A couple of collisions near midcourt today.
We knew it was going to be a battle for the boards. Both sides competing at such a high level. Look how physical this is. Settle trying to get out in transition. Gets the foul. Leah Settle, the freshman, she's just been amazing. I love a guard, and she has such a great body too that can rebound and can also take the break. It's amazing what she's been able to do.
Terry Sanford here, 2 players with 4 fouls, starting to add up late. McField attacks it, hits that jumper.
How fundamental was that jump stop? Defense all over her, and she finds a way.
Brown off a pick. There's a college three that rattles out. Loose ball to Settle. Has it picked, but out of bounds.
And those are good looks from Wilkerson. This is 1-2, a 31% three-point shooter. She can knock it down. She just had 3 threes in that region final. Just unable to see it through today.
Blake with those 4 fouls trying to close up one of the top scorers in the state, and Lena McField. And Blake gets her pocket for a moment. McField inside. All the way to the bucket. No good. Who's got the rebound? Sanford grabs it. Now works through Amia Brown. And this whistle sends us to our final media. Tight one here at Joel Coliseum.
It's been back and forth all afternoon long, but Lena McField playing with the basketball, getting it out for 2, but she is setting the way, paving the way for Northern Guilford. Up 6 here in the 4th.
Welcome back to Winston-Salem. Northern Guilford searching for their first title since 2018. Terry Sanford, 5th trip to the championship, but they've never won one. Had an 8-point lead in the 3rd quarter, but Northern Guilford's come storming back, and everyone's on edge here in the last 3 minutes of this state title.
Josh Evans, he's done a great job of, honestly, this team has been slow going, but coming on late, which is all that matters. This team, honestly, has been next level here in the 2nd half.
McField's done her part with 21, but others have stepped up recently. Terry Sanford held at 2 points in this 4th quarter, so Brown all downhill. Now a block. Purley, coast to coast.
Defense to offense. Purley out in transition.
Brown, the long 2, no good. Blake the board. Playing with 4 fouls, gets inside but misses. And Settle with a nice defensive rebound.
And suddenly feels a little bit tighter. Terry Sanford kind of feeling the weight of the time and score. You have to be aware of that here at 3 minutes left to go.
Two of the top players in the state going mano-a-mano. Blake on Settle, and a travel. That's a nice stop from Terry Sanford.
Terry Sanford's defense is what they do all over Lena McField, all up in her jersey.
Now they got to find some offense. It's been hard to come by in this 4th quarter. Here's a 3 for Blake. That's no good. And Blake fights for the board, somehow got it. Blake in on Settle, earns a whistle. Free throws for Terry Sanford. I like the toughness here of Jada Blake.
She's done a great job trying to find ways to score. They were starting to settle a little bit for jumpers when their strength was inside. It can be difficult sometimes when you make some jumpers, then you can kind of settle for them late, but Northern Guilford's done a great job of containing them.
At the see-through construction free throw line, your contractor of choice in the Outer Banks. Terry Sanford program with most of this roster losing in the 2024 state title. And they're hanging tough, back within 6.
They're gonna have to put on their full court pressure. With 2.5 to go, gonna have to get some stops to scores.
Settle breaks that pressure. Drives to the bucket, good response.
Aaliyah Settle, so good. Great floater in the paint.
Settle nearly a steal.
So versatile. Her length, getting touches and steals. It has helped Northern Guilford tremendously.
Nice touch inside. But a miss, point blank from Harrington. Georgia Lewis breaks the pressure and a timeout for Northern Guilford. Here they sit 2 minutes from the state title, and their 4th quarter defense has won them this game.
It's been tremendous what they've been able to do in the 3rd offensively. Here in the 4th, getting stops and really preventing Terry Sanford to find offense, and they have really struggled to get any half-court offense at all in this quarter.
Yeah, Jada Blake was fantastic in that first half, but ever since, and you see what Coach Goodman's going through, how do you find a bucket? There's 2 minutes left. You need a couple here quickly.
They're going to have to get stops to scores and put them together. 2 minutes to go. This is where you have to understand time and score as a player. Be aware of the time on the clock. Down 8, going to have to score in bunches.
Northern Guilford can taste it. 2 minutes from the first title in 8 years. McField has it poked loose, out of bounds. Well, there's a stop for Terry Sanford. Mia Brown's been the offense here in the second half for the Bulldogs. Deep 3. Another forced look. And out of bounds off Sanford. 2 of 16 from deep. That's a hard way to win it. Or pardon me, 3 of 29 now from deep.
Definitely has not been their key to victory today is from deep. Their strength was in the paint, getting boards and putbacks.
Remember, no shot clock in the high school game, so the foul game begins. And that foul means Amia Brown is just fouled out. Her final game in a Terry Sanford uniform, and she'll exit.
Mia Brown, just a tremendous tournament, 3rd all-time scoring in school history. 1,600 points. Phenomenal career for the senior.
Back to the see-through construction free throw line. And this is where Northern Guilford has won this state title. So good. 18 free throw makes today.
And they've done it the right way. When their shots weren't falling, they got to the rim and able to convert at the free throw line is just big time.
Largest lead now for Northern Guilford. And a Terry Sanford team that can't buy a 3 today is going to have to buy them in bunches. How about McField with the pick? The junior pushing it 4 on 0 and settles secures it.
I think that's the cherry on top right there.
Blake late in the clock. Can't hit that one. And here's Northern Guilford, 8 years in the making. They're on the verge of a state title.
So special for Josh Evans, his club. 11-0 in conference, 26-4 this season.
And a timeout for Coach Evans to take a deep breath with 1 minute left. Overcame a 10-point deficit in the second half in the region final just to get here. And you're seeing that toughness play out. They were down 8 in the second half today.
He said too, even with some of those 4 losses, they were growing. Those were growth opportunities for them. And sometimes it takes some of those losses and those deficits to your team to grow and learn, honestly, how to compete as a player. And this team has shown that today, how to overcome adversity. Where they started really slow in the first half, did a great job turning things around here in the second.
They see that big number, plus 17 since halftime. For Terry Sanford, such a fun run to the finals, right? Beating multiple Fayetteville schools in the 9-1-0 just to get to this championship. And they're on the verge of a 5th title loss, which are always hard to swallow, but especially 2 of them for the senior class.
Christopher Goodman's done an amazing job with this group. A lot of talented players with so much accolades and success. 22-6 for them this season.
So Anaya Purley throws it in. So in the high school game, you basically have to foul or force turnovers to get the ball back. And there's the foul. The reach in on Harrington. But now it's a free throw game the rest of the way for Northern Guilford.
Georgia Lewis has done a lot of the little things this afternoon, the detail, the hustle plays. She's been a big key part of their success
And
this
the
afternoon.
bench is enjoying that one. Seeing one of the two seniors hit a free throw from the see-through construction free throw line. Misses the second, though, and an offensive board for Sarah Moore, who then throws it away. Neela Marcelin. Nice dish and a layup there. Forces a timeout from Terry Sanford, down 11 with 43 left.
Great baseline drive and drift there to find Reddick in the paint. A great quick bucket for Terry Sanford.
It's hard to win the clock game at this point if you're Terry Sanford, but speak to the resolve of this Northern Guilford team. 3 straight games in the playoffs, they've been down big and have found ways to come back.
It's honestly been really tremendous what they've been able to do. Where a lot of their wins this season have been very decisive, but as they hit postseason, they have to will their way through many games to get to where they are now. And that big one last weekend at East Carolina, huge over Alexander Central. And then today, down in the first half, coming back in the second, just amazing.
And that last loss against one of the best teams in the country in Grace Christian, right? How much you learn from those non-conference tests. It's paying off big time for a club that's yet to lose in 2026.
When Josh Evans noted that he wants to play some of those really tough competitors in the non-conference to prepare for this. He was a part of that championship run back in 2018, so he knows what it takes to get back to this point. Being able to bring his club here, a very young group as well.
Yeah, Coach Kim Furlow brought him out for the championship celebration, said, your time's coming, right? And she didn't know when, but 8 years later, it's on the verge here in Winston-Salem.
Huge investment by Josh Evans, what he has been able to do with the school and community.
Nice offensive board for Harrington. That was Terry Sanford's strength early in this game. Crashing the glass, getting rebounds, and now the foul game continues, sending Leah McField to the line. The 2,000-point scorer who has a year left of high school ball, so she might crack that 3,000 threshold.
Absolutely. Only a junior, as you said. 3-time conference player of the year. So many Division I offers. We got coaches all around us today. She has willed this team to victory this afternoon. And TC Robinson game, she had 31 points, 8 rebounds and 9 assists. Evan, I think what makes her so good too, she finds her teammates. She's a great teammate and a great passer. And you've just been able to see her complete game today. When her offense was slow going in the first, she found it in the second.
Worth noting, only 8 3,000 scores in North Carolina history on the women's side. And the most recent was Shea Ralph at Terry Sanford about 20 years ago. And here's a 3. It's the game a little tight, 10-point game with 20 seconds left. You see the frustration starting to kick in, though. Too little, too late for the Bulldogs, down 10. Coming up next, we'll have a trophy presentation. We'll talk to winning coach Josh Evans and get you set for a busy day as this place is about to get bonkers. Cherokee's in town with Pamlico County in the 2A women's bracket up next.
There's a little bit of yellow sprinkled in, or should I say a lot?
Yeah, the pride of the Cherokee Nation, they come down in droves for this next game. Back-to-back state champs. They look for a 3rd title.
Think everybody closed early today?
I would sure hope so. As the mom just said behind us, put a ring on it, Quaid. She knows what's cooking for Northern Guilford here in the next 20 seconds. Ball pressure and a foul with 15 seconds left.
Bulldogs foul charge to number 2, Charisma Carswell, second personal.
A coordinating moment for the Conference Player of the Year, Tournament MVP. Most likely the most valuable player of this championship game as well, Lena McField.
She's been amazing, and there's been no shy of 2 defenders on her at any point in time. She's just been really composed. That's one of the things I've noticed about her just all afternoon long. She's been calm, composed, and poised. That's all you can ask for from a great player.
Adds to her day. 20-plus points from the see-through construction free throw line. Closing moments for Terry Sanford. And that'll about do it with the bucket. Well, Northern Guilford's back on top. Year 6A women's champions. 8 years in the making, and the Nighthawks are the state champs in North Carolina.
With a comeback as well, down in the first half, able to overcome so much. Balanced scoring. Lena McField struggled at first, but got her team involved. What a great team win for Northern Guilford.
And a great celebration for the nearby Greensboro crowd that made the trek to Joel Coliseum. We'll take a quick timeout, hear from the winning head coach. Northern Guilford, second half comeback. They're your 6A state champs. Here from Joel Coliseum.